Hi, everyone. We're joining you today from Austin, Texas. We're going to do our one-on-one pen to paper discussion with Deborah Kirk of Deborah Kirk Interiors. Deb is an award-winning designer in Austin and the surrounding areas, and she has read her chapter 1 and done her pen to paper. And today we're going to unpack her learnings and ideas and just have some fun with it. But first, if you want to go get your chapter 1 in your pen to paper, please go to jenniferbrazer.com so that you can sign up for that, and you're going to get that information and be able to submit your pen and paper to me to get a one-on-one session just like Deb has today. And you also get all of the sneak peeks into when the book is going to be published and the workshops that we're going to be having in 2021. So without further ado, Deb, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. So excited to be here with you, Jennifer.
Thank you. It's so good to have you. And I'm really excited to learn about what you unpacked with reading chapter 1 and, putting pen to paper, what ideas came from that. So why don't you just kind of dive right in and give us some thoughts that are first to mind?
First of all, the thing that grabbed me immediately in your first chapter was the fact that there's so many elements of my business that could actually be in the cloud. I had considered before, like I think everybody else pre-COVID, but no one could get around to it because we just didn't have the bandwidth, right? And so now we're kind of forced into that, which is really a godsend. So what I love is the virtual assistant, which I actually do have. And that does work really, really well. And of course, my accounting and my bookkeeping. There's certain parts of my business, because it's such a personal business, where people want to sit on that sofa and they want to feel that fabric. That's probably what I would love to try to figure out how I could do other than mail samples. I still have to meet them at showrooms and whatnot. But I just love anything having to do with being able to work from my home, be with my family, still have my good personal time, which is super important to my husband and I and my family, and get my work done. So I'm so excited. This whole
and I mean, you're not alone, right?
Yeah.
What's that?
I ordered your book already. I know I'm waiting in line for it, but
Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, there are pre-orders on Amazon.com, so you can go get it if you want to make sure that you get it dropped to you in January. Right. So tell me a little bit more about the tools that people are using in the interior design industry to virtualize. And I know, one of the things that you had mentioned in your pen to paper was creating an environment where you could have a fixed fee contract, because when you're coming from the cloud and your time is, your experience, right? You don't want to do hours for dollars anymore. How do you quantify that? Have you tried it? How did it work? What do you have to say to others in your field?
I'm so glad you brought that up, because I have experienced it. I did do one really great, pretty large project, a whole new build from architect to finish. And the client wanted this fee base, because they're like, I want to know what I'm going to be spending. Sure. So I'll tell you what, it worked out beautifully. In fact, we ended up with hours left over. But the whole idea, and what you mentioned, is this value-based pricing. There's not enough hours in the day to make enough money in this business, right? So I have good experience. I mean, I've been doing this for, 30 years. Yeah. I can do some of this stuff in my sleep. The thing is that you have really pulled from me, and I'm seeing other designers use this, is that you really base it not necessarily on your hours, but on your value and your expertise. Right. And the time that you've had in this. I mean, there's value in that. And it's really cool when I can find a client who sees that and is willing to pay for it. But it got me really on this this space of where, like, it worked once, I can do it again. So I'm ready to dive into doing that again.
It's so funny how we'll try something one time, and then even if it works, we're like, oh, I'm not sure, maybe that was a fluke. But I would highly encourage it. You know, I definitely think that in the professional services industry, one of the things that holds us back from really broadening our reach is that we're hours for dollars, right? We technically are the business. And so it's really interesting as people take the journey to the cloud to watch how they transform that model so that, yes, they're still the face of the business. And yes, the relationship is still important, but they aren't everything. You talked about using a virtual assistant and outsourcing your bookkeeping. What other things might you outsource in your business or handle differently if you were to spend less time driving back and forth and more time really doing the things that you need to be doing based on your expertise?
Well, you know, besides the bookkeeping, this one gal also does all my ordering, which is wonderful. I don't have to do any of that anymore. And she tracks it. And then it comes in. And if it's broken, she sends it back. She does all that, which is great. I will tell you, and I don't know if it could be virtual, I need someone to run around town for me. I pick up things and drop things off at clients that really is such a waste of my time, you know. So
Absolutely.
I don't know how I would virtualize that.
Well, you know, the thing is people can be a tool for you too, right? And so just recognizing, you know, where your strengths are and how you can kind of fill those gaps is going to be really important. And the cool thing is, as you move through the book, the chapters start to cover more of these topics that we talked about today and give you some strategies that I've used to really establish that relationship but not have to be there right in front of my client in order to serve them and make them feel secure and feel that trust bond, which I know is really important in your industry too.
It's such a personal industry. You know, they want you. They don't want your assistant. They want you. I hire Deborah Kirk Interiors. I want Deborah Kirk Interiors. But I think what I can do is just be there more with Zoom meetings and with phone calls, and that I don't have to go across town. You know?
Right. And I know that when you start your engagements, you really like to feel the space. You like to get to know the person, right? You have to understand their design needs. And that is absolutely an intensely personal experience. And Kirk needs to be there for that.
Yeah.
And for those other things, you know, looking at virtualization could be really efficient and a great way to be able to take on more and get your name out there even further.
And I think when I do get the book, and you said it all spells out some more throughout the chapters, is that I'll be able to really actually turn on that this is a possibility that, Deborah, maybe you never thought of it this way, because I'm definitely in the box sometimes when I'm just thinking about how I need to do it and how I've done it all these years. So I think this is going to just open my eyes, and I can't wait.
It's very fun. It's very fun. It's a great experience. And I think that, like you said, with COVID, it's very timely right now. So those of us that thought we might do it someday, now we're like, oh man, we better do this or we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, it's perfectly timely, your book. I just can't get over how perfectly timed that is. And I know you thought about it way before this whole COVID thing.
Yes.
So amazing. Amazing.
It's amazing how the universe works. Well, Deb, thank you so much for joining me today. I do want to let our viewers know how to reach you. So we have a ticker at the bottom, but will you let them know where you are available if they want to get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So I'm based in Austin, Texas, and you can look on my website, reach me on my website, just hitting the contact page. And then also you can follow me on Instagram and message me there too. And you can always call me, but you know, we'll use use everything else now anyway. So.
Well, certainly they can go there, and then you can give them that call and engage that relationship. Well, Deb, thanks again. And to our viewers, if you want to have your own one-on-one session after doing your pen to paper, then go ahead and submit it to me. Just go to jenniferbrazer.com. It will tell you how to get that chapter 1 and that pen to paper so that you can get busy on your journey to the cloud. And Deb, I'm super excited to see how things play out as you move through the experience and you start to virtualize more.
And I will keep in touch so you'll know how it all works out.
Very cool. Thank you so much, my dear. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too. Thanks, Jennifer.
Take care. Bye-bye.